The economy is best defined as the activities related to the production and distribution of goods and services. This means that when the economy is doing well, there will be higher levels of spending. However, when the economy isn't doing well, there will be less spending and less production.
Did you know that the world's income is distributed unevenly? Developed countries have a relatively high income per person. Developed countries are also known as rich countries. The UK, USA, and Spain are examples of developed countries. Developed countries usually have a good level of economic activity.
Developing countries have a lower income per person. Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Uganda are examples of developing countries. These are the poorer countries and there is less economic activity. Remember we said that income is not distributed evenly. Here's an example. In 2007, in the USA, the average income per person per year, not just for workers, was $45,000, or around £30,000. In Ethiopia, in the same year, this figure stood at just $780, or around £510. Of course, the cost of living is very different in these countries, but that is a £29,490 difference.
Nations with higher incomes spend far more on imports, as the average person can afford to buy products from across the world. Remember, an import is a product coming from another country. An example could be UK businesses importing iPads from America. Developed countries like the UK are more likely to sell their products domestically or to other developed countries.
UK businesses can take advantage of low wages paid to workers in developing countries. This is often attractive to businesses as it helps to cut costs, which therefore means more profit. This is why products are mainly produced in developing countries. Cheaper production costs means that businesses can sell their products for a cheaper price. An example of a business using this strategy is Primark.
Quality and technology are also different in developing and developed countries. Often products made in developing countries such as Ethiopia are low quality due to insufficient technological advancement. The country does not have the facilities to have the same technology as developed countries. Because of this, it is often the case that products made in developing countries don't meet the required standard of safety in order to be sold. Companies from developed countries therefore have to implement their technology in developing countries, which costs money initially.
Protectionist policies exist to protect countries. These are measures designed to reduce the amount of imports coming into a country, which gives an advantage to domestic firms. Import protection policies were designed to reduce imports being bought from abroad. There are three main types you need to know about.
The first is tariffs, also known as customs duties. This is tax on imported goods which makes the products more expensive. The second is quotas. A quota is a limit on the number of goods that can be imported over a period of time. The third import protection policy is safety standards. These limit the goods that come into a country as they may not be up to the required standard.
Lastly, there are export subsidies. This is when the government may give money or a subsidy to firms that export goods. Remember, an export is goods bought by a foreign buyer. An example of this would be the UK selling products to South Korea. Export subsidies help reduce the costs of production and therefore can lower the price the goods are sold for. This helps a country's exports be more competitive, so sales will be higher. Subsidies can be seen as the opposite of tax.